Alright, this is just a quick video on a few books I've read or been reading on the former President Trump. So this is Craig Unger's book, American Compromise. I think I did a review of this already. And I just finished Bill Browder's book. Now these two books are closely related. And then I'm currently reading The Fixers by these New York Times journalists. And the issue here is that this American Compromise book talks about how Trump was in Jeffrey Epstein's black book with 16 different phone numbers. And so the real issue is, why hasn't he been indicted for his participation in the exploitation of underage females? And this ties into Dr. Gail Dines' talk on radical feminism that I rewatched this morning. And she talks about how in pornography, the male is hardwired to associate the lust with the violence against the females. And this is actually wired into the physiology of males. This is Dr. Gail Dines does not go into that, but as a male, training in the non-Western healing energy, the spiritual healing, it's based on the staying power of the male and the parasympathetic nervous system. And what Dr. Gail Dines talks about is the neoliberal feminism versus radical feminism. And she says how males, with the rise of Foucault, they've taken over the queer and gender studies instead of women. And she mentions Susan Griffin, who was I actually read Susan Griffin. She's also an ecofeminist. And so the issue here is that in the neoliberal feminism, they equate the male and the female, the bliss from lust is equated as the same, but physiologically they're the opposite, as Professor Robert Sapolsky documents that for the male, the cortisol stress is spiked. There's a spiking of the sympathetic nervous system as stress. And so the spiritual healing is based on reversing that stress reaction and storing up the energy in the parasympathetic nervous system. And this signal originates as a biophoton signal that's an external signal. So you'll notice the prominent red color. That's the color of the yin qi. That's external red, and it's actually tied to the lunar energy, the lunar calendar. And so this is why the patriarchal system is going against the lunar calendar, and that's what controls life on Earth through the water cycle. And that's why we're having this severe global drought, because of the direct connection between the chimpanzee patriarchy culture and externalizing this red as violence against the female energy, when in fact it should be internalized as a lunar cycle from within, as the psychic yin qi energy. So I'm gonna finish this book. It's been a slow read. It's well written, but they don't even mention Jeffrey Epstein, and obviously the worst evil scum in prison are the child rapists. And so, in fact, Drumpf should have been indicted a long time ago for being associated with Jeffrey Epstein, with 16 different phone numbers in Jeffrey Epstein's black book. But this is covered up at a high level, and the person who actually got hold of Jeffrey Epstein's book, he actually went to University of Minnesota. He was a journalist major at University of Minnesota, and his research was published by TrineDay, the same publisher that sent me a book contract, Kris Millegan, to publish my research also in 2012. And so this is an issue that nobody really wants to delve into, because it has to do with training the male that nature is actually female, and that the source of reality is female. And this is what our original human culture is based on, with the Ngom energy from the San Bushmen. And that's also the teaching of ecofeminism from Susan Griffin and Vandana Shiva, that growth happens from within. And if you watch the Pioneers talk on the cosmic womb of the universe, and this is what Camille Paglia calls the womb tomb, as the fourth eye from Medusa and the Gorgons. That's the psychic yin qi energy. And you have to keep building up the yin qi energy within for the male to then activate the wan qi as the elixir field of the universe being the female cosmic mother, the mystery of the valley, as it's called in Taoism. And so this is what we're up against today, and that somebody who was in Jeffrey Epstein's book with 16 phone numbers is constantly on television and promoted, when in fact, if he was in prison, he'd be the lowest scum of evil in the prison system. But instead constantly discussed, and he just wants to be in the media all the time because he knows, any kind of media attention is a fixation on the problem instead of the solution. And so the key is to focus on the solution instead of the problem. So if we want to focus on the solution, then we go to something like this from Bradford Keeney, which is the he ended up focusing on the San Bushman original human culture as the solution. And we all have the same physiology as the San Bushman peoples from Africa. So we can focus on the San Bushman. Say right here, African Bushmen. Okay. And he was a professor at University of St. Thomas, also in the Twin Cities. So I will there it is right here, the Kalahari. So this goes back to before 70,000 years ago. And so radical feminism can study the San Bushman and Kalahari for the answer. And this is studied in radical anthropology also. But they do not quite get the teaching. So radical anthropology needs to join together with radical feminism. Thank you very much.